Senator Eric Schmitt was the state's attorney general when this suit was filed, and he joins me right now. Senator, thank you. Go back to why then Attorney General Schmitt put this lawsuit forward, and you've got to be just gleeful on the ruling of the judge at this point.
Well, yeah, it's a massive win for free speech and a devastating loss for censorship. And when I was Attorney General, as you mentioned, we filed this lawsuit about a year ago. And what's been uncovered ever since, Jason, has been a vast censorship enterprise. I mean, this was big government colluding and coercing big tech and these social media giants to censor speech. And of course, the government can't do it, but they can't outsource that either, and they can't force and coerce these companies to do the same. And what's been uncovered in 20,000+ documents, emails, direct messages from senior officials in the administration with high-ranking executives of these social media giants is shocking. I mean, you had, first of all, this was almost exclusively related to conservative speech. So you've got viewpoint discrimination there. And then you also have threats that are being made, whether it's investigations, whether it's, eliminating Section 230 protections, whether it is additional regulations or other legal action to get them to do their bidding on things like origins of COVID, the lab leak theory. They didn't want anybody to talk about that, of course. Other COVID protocols, the Hunter Biden laptop story. So this is far-reaching. It's the judge notes that this is perhaps the single greatest censorship enterprise in the history of the country, and it's been exposed now. And that order is, like I said, a big win for free speech.
Is there any consequence other than, hey, don't do that again? Is there any consequence to those who actually did do this?
Well, you already see now, actually, it's been reported that the State Department's canceling meetings, their weekly meetings, whatever's happening there, with Facebook officials. And they admitted to having weekly censorship meetings during COVID. I mean, this was, you had, and you mentioned some of the agencies, the CDC, the FBI, White House officials, the FDA. This is far-reaching. And all of these different agencies were working under the guise of misinformation to suppress millions of posts by American citizens. They're just simply not allowed to do that. And of course, I'm going to carry this fight to the Senate. We need to have oversight now. I've also, filed legislation to make sure if big tech companies are doing this, they do lose Section 230 protections. But we also need to have a hammer with government officials who are involved in this, and I intend to move forward with legislation in that regard too. The First Amendment is our pressure release valve. Everybody should be able to have a say in the town square, including the virtual town square, and the government doesn't have any business telling people what they can see and hear in that virtual town square.
Well, thanks for having the foresight to actually file this lawsuit, because it is one of the most important rulings that we've seen happen in a long time, and I hope it doesn't get buried with the 4th of July holiday, that people understand how oppressive the government was in this realm. Senator Schmitt, thank you again.